Hey, you're watching this video because you're interested in opening up your very own car wash. You've probably heard, hey, it's a high cash business, very high profit margins, but in today's video I'm going to give you the comparison whether you should open up a car wash or should you open up a truck driving school. Now you might be thinking, truck driving school? I've never even thought about opening up a truck driving school. Isn't that kind of crazy? Well, I'm going to give you the comparison on exactly which one would be best for you. So let's talk about any other business out there. There's a few different categories that you can actually rate the business on which one to start. Thing number one is going to be opening capital, right? So how much money you actually need to start the business itself. So car wash, if you're going to go with a big car wash where it's like one of those self-serve type of things and you're going to buy the land and then put the building up, I have one of my friends who actually is in this industry, and he tells me it's anywhere from $3 million to $6 million overall build out cost, right? So that means you're going to be buying the land, putting a whole building on there, putting all that expensive equipment in there, and making sure that things are moving smoothly, right? So that's a pretty high investment level when it comes to starting up a car wash. Now you might be thinking, well, John, I don't have to start that high. I can do like mobile car wash and just do it off my pickup truck. And that's okay too. You could definitely do that. But understand, if you start off that low, probably not going to be making the income that you think you want to make, right? Or you might be thinking, well, I'm going to do something in the middle, and that's okay too. But same type of thing, you're going to be capped with the capacity that you can actually handle, which means the income is not going to be there. So if you want to make $1 million, $2 million a year in sales, that means you're going to have a pretty big facility to make sure things are moving forward. Now, let's compare that to truck driving school. Now, truck driving school, to start that off, you're going to need anywhere from $250,000 to $450,000 to get started, right? And that's going to give you the capacity to actually create a multi-million-dollar business on the top line of sales, right? So you don't need a whole lot of money to get started like you do on the car wash side than you do on the truck driving school side itself. Next thing is going to be, okay, I opened up the business, John. Now, what is the process of actually how much money can I make? What's the profit margins? So, car washes on a bigger scale is actually one of the highest profit margin businesses out there when you really think about it and do the research. The cool thing about this is what you're doing, you're selling water and you're selling soap. And those things are pretty cheap in comparison. So, I know individuals who actually own a few different car washes. And they're telling me that they make anywhere from 25% all the way up to about 45% of profit, right? Because water and soap are relatively cheap in comparison. And as long as they have enough volume coming in, they can make those margins, which are actually pretty cool. So that means if you are making $1 million a year in a car wash, that means you can walk away with anywhere from $250,000 to $450,000 in profit to you. Now the downside is going to be, in order to make $1 million a year for a car wash, you're going to have to wash a whole lot of cars, which means you're going to have to make sure you're in a proper location because you're selling low ticket items, which means you need a whole lot of volume, you're probably going to need a good amount of staff, and you're going to want to make sure that you have a big enough facility, which again means that your costs to start up are going to be super high. Now the truck driving school side, it's actually a little bit better margins because we're not even selling water, we're not even selling soap. What we're selling is actually knowledge, right? So knowledge costs us nothing to reproduce. We're selling words in a book. We're selling, making sure that they have the skill set that they need. Now some of our expenses are going to be labor, just like any other business. You're going to need trucks to actually train the students in. You're going to need a classroom, right? But and the fuel that the trucks actually use. But it's not going to be every time you have to wash a car, you're going to be using soap, more water, more this, more that. There's actually no actual cost associated to adding one more student because you already have the trucks, you already have the labor, and pretty much the fuel is already inside there, right? So you might purchase a little bit more fuel, a little bit less fuel, but that's going to be super minuscule as long as you follow our process. So say it's the same exact thing. The thing, and we'll say it's a 35 to 45%. Realistically, our franchisees are seeing anywhere from 40 to 60% profit margins, net margins we're talking about here, which means on $1 million business, they can get to walk home with $300,000 to $600,000, which is a big difference, right? But the other cool thing is that you actually don't have to wash as many cars as you do with getting as many students, because an average student is going to pay anywhere from $3,000 all the way up to $11,000 for a course, which means you have to wash a lot of cars in comparison to how many students you're actually going to have to sign up. So that means you get to do a lot less volume to make the same amount of money. Hey, I'm interrupting this video because I know that you want to grow yourself or your business. That's why we dedicated a whole new channel called Jonathan Marks Growth. This is where I'm going over all the different strategies on how to grow yourself as an individual or your business, no matter what industry that you're in. So if you're interested in learning more about how to grow to the next level, click on that link and check us out. Thanks. Let's talk about the feel-good factor of it. If you're going into a car wash, everybody loves a good, clean car. And that's definitely a great feeling. But imagine actually being the integral part of somebody to change their life for the future. You're going to give somebody the skill set that they need to help them get a CDL license, to get them moving forward in a career where they can change their entire career and make as much money as possible for them, and more money than they've ever made for themselves or for their family. Just think about all the good stories and all the goodwill you're going to put out there into the world, and how that's going to come back to appreciate you in the long term. Right? So there's so many cool things about opening up a truck driving school, but most people now are going to think, well, I've never even been inside a truck. Like, is it good for me? Like, what kind of experience do I have? What kind of experience do I need? Well, it's one business that most people never even thought about, which is definitely a cool niche to be into. But the other cool thing is that when I started off the original Driving Academy, before we actually franchised, I had no professional truck driving experience at all myself. So I had to kind of create the system, learn things the hard way, and when I was developing the system, I wanted to make sure that it was duplicatable no matter what your experience level was. So a lot of our franchisees who we have now actually have never even been inside of a truck, and they're able to run a successful business simply because our system is so duplicatable and things are able to move forward in the right direction, and we're able to make sure that they are successful. So if you're interested in learning more about, hey, is this a good fit for you? You want to ask some more questions? Our franchising team is there to help you out and guide you through that entire process. We're there to walk you through from start to finish, and we're here to make sure that you are successful. Our mission as a company is to help 1 million people get on the road to freedom. We can't do it all by ourselves with our corporate locations. That's why we're inviting you to join our opportunity to help change the world and giving people the freedom to change the world itself by helping them make more money and getting into a career that they truly love. So if you're interested in learning more, go to our website, cdldrivingacademy.com/franchising, or give us a call, 888-525-3609. Again, that's 888-525-3609. Thanks. Have a great day. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.